Hey everybody, this is Dawn. I know that probably just looks like a white blur out there, but that's the ice in the bay. I'm about to head out there for the day, and I just wanted to share with you something I always do. I'm up on a road that overlooks the bay out there, and before I go out on the ice, I always take a drive along the area here. It gives me an overview up high view. I'm sitting in a little scenic overview area, and I drive down this road, and it gives me the ability to scan out over the ice to see if there's any open water out there or any big cracks or anything. So I'm going to take a drive down the road here and take a look. So that's one of the safety things I do before I go out on the ice. I just thought I'd share that with you. Here's another good area to scan through and look through the area. It gives you a pretty good view out there. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I can see really good. Hi guys, this is Dawn. Taking a little break from fishing here because nothing's been biting, and I wanted to answer some questions from the video I posted yesterday. So this is kind of a Q&A and safety on the ice video. Yesterday when I was out here and I did the video, when I did my scouting video, I had a lot of questions and responses and concerns about safety on the ice, and from people that aren't in a region where the ice freezes and so on. I mean, the lakes and stuff freeze. So there was also a lot of questions. And one of the most common questions were, sorry, face is frozen. One of the most common questions was, how do you know when it's safe to drive on the ice? So there's many ways to know that. One is, here it's called the DNR, Department of Natural Resources. They go out and they test the ice and they put out ice reports. And you can check with them in your local area to find out if the ice is safe. That's probably the most reliable source. Also, you can check with people that have been out there when they walk out and they drill holes in the area where you're going to be, and people that you know. I mean, you don't just take people's word for it. One of the guys that lives on my road, he is a little crazy. He goes out there when it's a couple inches thick, walks on it, and goes out and ice fishes and jumps open water. He's crazy. I would never, ever do that. But he does that, and then he comes back and gives reports at the bait shop and stuff, and people will follow his word. And that is insane. So don't ever do that. Don't just take people's word for it. Go with a reliable source like the Department of Natural Resources. Also, the local news stations here give ice reports. They're pretty reliable. What I would say the best thing to do, walk out there. When you know it's safe to walk on, which is you only need a few inches of ice to be able to walk on it. Walk out there, start punching holes. Go walk all the way out to where you plan to drive and punch several holes. If it's a foot thick, you are good to go. I will not drive on the ice if it's less than a foot thick. That is me. I know many people that'll drive on it when it's 6 inches thick. I don't drive on it unless it's a foot thick. I just don't feel safe with that. But that's me. So, reliable sources is the answer. Local news reports, Department of Natural Resources, fishing clubs go out and drill and give pretty reliable ice reports. Those are the best ways to get your reliable information on when the ice is thick enough to get out and drive on it. Some of the other safety things, the best thing to do is fish with a buddy. If you don't have anybody to go out and fish with, fish near somebody, which isn't hard to do out here. There's always a ton of people. Walk up to someone, knock on their shanty or whatever, and say, hey, I'm out here alone. Do you mind if I fish with you or near you? I'll be over here. If you hear a holler, and let them know, hey, I'm here. If you get in trouble, let me know. Holler and I'll get you help. Fish in numbers. That's the best thing to do when you're out on the ice. Another important thing to do, let somebody know where you're going before you go out. I called my sister before I came out here. I had been at a different location. I called her and said, hey, I'm moving to a different area, told her where I was going to be. And she said, okay, because then if I don't show up at home, they're not looking for me where I was before. So I called her to let her know I was moving to this spot. That's really important, You hope nothing ever happens, but if it does, you want someone to know where you are, especially if you moved. Dress appropriately. Dress in layers, so on and so forth, so you're not out here getting frostbite. Bring food and water in case the weather comes in. That's a big thing. Watch the weather. I don't care if you're getting the catch of the day, the best catch of your life. Watch the weather. If the weather starts to change, get off the ice. No fish is worth your life. People get caught out here because a storm rolls in and you get in a whiteout and you can't find your way back to shore. And then what are you going to do? Especially if you're out here and you don't have an ice shanty and you don't have supplies in your truck. It happens. Fog rolls in or whatever. Come prepared. Have your stuff in your truck. Have food, water, shelter, whatever. Be prepared, guys. Don't go out here unprepared. You'll get in trouble. The other thing, when you're driving out on the ice, don't have your seatbelt on. I don't have my seatbelt on. I have my window down. On the passenger seat, I have a bag with a wool blanket, a change of clothes, and everything in a dry bag. Because if my truck starts going down, I whip that sucker out the window as hard as I can so it gets away from my truck, so that if I go through the ice, I go right out the door, right out the window, pull myself out, and I got stuff to get warm in right away when I get out of the water on the ice. So, those are just some things to think about. That's what I do. That's my philosophy. Also, there's little ice picks with handles. They look like a big nail sticking through the bottom. A lot of people wear those around their neck. I wouldn't wear them around my neck. I mean, they float, but they can get separated from you if you go through the ice. Remember when you were a kid and your mom used to put your mittens on yarn and the yarn would go down your sleeves and out the end of your jacket? That's what I would do with those ice picks. Put them on a string that goes down the sleeve of your jacket and out the end, and they just dangle off the end of your sleeve. Because if you go through the ice, I don't care if they float. If you can't find them when you're in a panic in that cold water, they do you no good to stick in the ice to pull yourself out with. Put them in your sleeves. They're right there. You just got to grab them then with your hand, jab them in the ice, and use them to pull yourself out with. So there you go, guys. Those are my safety tips for today. I hope that helps anybody who's out here. And I didn't catch any fish, but I had a great time, and hopefully we'll get them next time. Take care. Bye-bye.